play right now, and we'll talk over it. I have some few questions for you. So you say it's a remake, not a remaster?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a remake in Unreal Engine 4.
Wow.
So that's why it looks so pretty.
I was gonna say it looks a lot better than what I remember from way back in the day. So, all right, well done.
Yeah, I mean, next year there's the 15-year anniversary of the original.
Oh,
so
okay. So you planned this.
It better
this
be
is
looking a bit better.
Yeah. Okay. Well done.
But yeah, it's the team is known for their very high visual quality as well, and they've done a great job of translating that very unique art style as well. It has this kind of mix of a little bit cartoony, but also quite realistic.
Yeah, a little bit of realism in there.
Yeah, so it needs to be a little realistic as well, so that you really feel like you're destroying Earth, not just something.
Understandable. So what are some of the things that you've updated? Obviously, you've done the graphics. So what else have you guys been working on?
Well, basically, I don't know if you guys can already hear
that one's
the
a little bit delayed from that one.
All right, sorry. Yeah, so basically one of the first things is, for example, the cutscenes, which basically the original had about like 3 CGI cutscenes and then rather basic in-game cutscenes.
Well, yeah,
so we've
what you had
basically put a lot of effort into making the cutscenes much more elaborate. It's all motion captured.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the whole game, everything's motion captured.
That's impressive, actually.
Can we actually hear the dialogues? I actually don't know.
It's being pushed to stream, not to us.
All right.
So they can hear it.
Okay, cool.
Funny.
They'll push it here in a
Let's
sec
just
for you.
say I'm glad I'm up here and you're down there. Loathsome little planet. Now, Crypto, to ensure
So how
this
many people are
invasion
currently
runs
working on
smoothly,
this game
it
right
is
now?
imperative
On the game,
we
there's more than
identify
60
the
people
dominant
at the
Holy cow.
development studio.
Well,
Yeah,
I
they're
mean,
one
you
of
have
our
to
biggest
with
developer studios.
Motion cap.
Yeah, so yeah, huge team. Everybody big fans of the game, of course, and something like the motion capturing these cutscenes that's done externally. So, if in total, there's obviously much more people working on this.
Yes,
but there's even just more than 60 people just working at the developer. And so, as you can see from the characters, like in their facial movements and all this kind of stuff, has been much more improved, but we kept the original dialogue, the banter between these two aliens, Crypto 137, who's like the iconic main character behind everything. He's on everything. Yeah, his face is just plastered across E3.
Very famous.
And then Pox is basically his sidekick general, who's like the calm one who tries to keep him from just blowing everything up all the time, and then he just does it anyway.
That's fair. That's my style. So we have a couple questions. Will there be co-op or multiplayer?
No, in the first one there was no co-op back then, and we're keeping the game pretty much similar to what it was.
To the original?
So we're really trying to faithfully recreate the experience that people had in this first game.
Will there be any new levels? I know you say you're keeping it core to the original, but are you gonna add a little your own flair?
Yeah, we're doing both. Like we're keeping it very faithful, but we're also bringing back a mission that basically was planned to be in the game, and we have the rough outlines of what they planned to do back then.
Yeah.
And so we've recreated that mission, and we're basically there is one mission that you've never played before.
Well, that's really
which
neat.
is quite great, and it's basically exactly according to how it was planned to be in there, and was just it didn't manage to put it in.
I like that you guys are definitely staying true to the original, but kind of, updating it for today's audience, which is really nice. So you'll have that nostalgia, but you'll be like, oh, but it's so much prettier now.
Exactly. It's basically, there's just so many things about the game that perfectly hold up, like the story. He's really completely an unapologetic evil alien. It's none of that, none like anti-hero with a heart of gold kind of shit.
No.
He's just an evil alien who likes to burn down humanity. And that just still is a very unique kind of thing. It's just a great experience to have this wacky 50s invasion story in an actual 1950s America setting, so not a post-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
It's just a unique kind of style and all this kind of stuff, and that just holds up. So what we've actually concentrated on is just improving the kind of fluent transition between the different elements of gameplay that you have, between the different types of combat you have, like your weapons, your psychic abilities, so that you can use those all at the same time. Currently you can see the telekinesis.
Huge fan.
which is one of the biggest things in the game, where you can just throw stuff around. The team is basically bit by bit adding more and more and more things that you can throw at people, and we just try to think of things. Okay, what do I want to throw in somebody's face? An old toilet, a cow, a chicken, a tire, whatever. And you can now do this simultaneously while you fly, while you shoot.
Oh wow!
All together.
So speaking of cow, can you appreciate the cow?
Sorry?
Can you appreciate the cow?
Appreciate?
That's what chat is asking. I'm not sure if that's a reference to something.
I'm not quite sure what the question means, and you have to excuse me. I'm from Austria, so English is not my first language. You want whether you can appreciate the cow?
Can you pray to the cow gods?
Can we all appreciate the cow? Oh, I think he's just asking whether we're all happy that the cows are nice.
The dislocator. Oh, I guess that was in the second one. Okay, so somebody had asked, are all the levels open world?
Yes, they're basically, the game is divided into 6 different cities.
Okay.
And once you've unlocked one city, that city in itself is open world. Compared to modern games, where you have one huge city, obviously they're a bit smaller.
Yes.
But each city is very distinct. Like this one is basically a turnip seed farm, which is a very rural, very farmland-like level, and then you've got the old Washington D.C. Basically, you've got a Santa Monica-like
nice.
level on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So every city is very distinct.
Yes.
And you've got story missions there, but also you can just go there and just burn shit down.
Huge fan. So what platforms will this be released on?
Pardon?
Which platforms will this be released on?
It will be out on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
So anything about Switch? I know we're getting a lot of questions about as well.
Yeah, right now we can't really confirm Switch since it's a pretty big game and a very visually heavy game, and we have to see if we can make it work on the Switch as well.
But, I'm happy it's on PC, so I can't complain there.
Yeah, it's the first time actually that it is playable on PC properly.
Yes, I remember it was console only. So when will the game be released?
It will come out in 2020.
2020? Can you say spring, fall? I don't want to get you in trouble, so if you can't say that.
Well, let's say
it
will most likely still be warm when it comes out.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, in LA it's always warm.
Well, I mean, it's warmer.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Well, we'll see. We'll announce soon, a little bit more details about when it'll come out.
Somebody had asked, are the levels bigger than the Destroy All Humans one, for the first one? Are the levels bigger?
The levels are pretty similar to what it was in the original, because we're keeping the mission structures roughly the same. We're keeping the whole game roughly about the same size that it was. But as you'll already see on this level, we're basically we're making
closer to your mouth.
Closer to your mouth.
Yes,
okay.
there you go.
Thought this is too loud. Basically, we're making parts of the levels explorable that in the originals were just barren.
Oh, okay.
So now there's just much more level dressing, much more little details, much more little extra tasks that you can do.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
those are also spread in parts of the cities that in the original used to be pretty empty.
Yeah.
So it'll feel a little bigger, even though in reality,
It's about the
size-wise,
same.
it's pretty much the same.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. Somebody had asked, will you guys be going to GOG? So I assume you're going out on Steam. What other PC platforms?
We're bringing it out on just about every platform. Steam,
Okay.
Epic Games, everywhere. We're currently not participating in the fight,
Fair.
so we're just bringing it out on
Switzerland, you
whoever,
stay neutral.
yeah, Amazon,
Where everybody
whatever
wants
is
to
your
be.
favorite platform.
Will there be any gameplay improvements from the first one? Gameplay improvements from the first one?
From the first one.
Are you doing anything? I'm
well,
taking
the-
questions from chat.
Yeah,
So,
well, basically the improvement, what has been improved in comparison to the original game
Yes.
is mainly the combat gameplay. So the psychic abilities can be used simultaneously with the weapons. You have more air time when you use the jetpack, so that it's easier to actually shoot from the air. You can throw stuff from the air, so you can pick something up, fly to the sky, throw the cow down onto the farmer who raised it, just whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Apart from that, what we're mainly looking at is, since we want to be very careful with any changes to the original,
Fair.
we're looking at the second part, looking at what they improved upon, and then identifying things that might make sense to do already in the first one. So basically the second one has a feature called Transmogrify, which allows you to create ammunition, which is just a great system. And we're looking into transporting that to the first one, simply because if they back then, at the sequel decided, look, this would be
OP.
better solved like this, then why shouldn't we, bring that over to the first one? But in general, we're trying to stay within the vision that these games set back then.
What are you able to talk about pricing at all? About how much it'll be?
It's not going to be a complete full price title.
Okay.
But the final pricing is still to be decided.
Somewhere
but
mid-tier.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a full $70 title, but
all right.
somewhere there.
I can do the math on that one.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys at home can as well. Let me see. Somebody had said, is there going to be any Alienware cosmetics?
Alienware cosmetics?
Yes.
Or just alien cosmetics?
Alienware cosmetics. Yes. I'm asking.
In the game?
Yes.
There's no plans yet, but we're very open for any suggestions. I mean,
reach out to us.
You have an alien head, we have an alien head. Everybody
make
gets an
something
alien
work.
head, so yeah, that's, who knows?
Will there be any pre-order bonuses or deluxe editions? Pre-order bonuses or deluxe editions?
We're very much looking into this. It's very likely that we'll at least have a few collector's editions, something for the fans, and we're gonna soon basically announce like what we can do there, what we're gonna offer there. Obviously, he's a very great character to do any kind of merchandise, any kind of figurine. So we're very excited to work on this.
Somebody said it's a disguise system better. The holobob.
Yes, the holobob. Basically, we changed it a little bit because we took out the concentration feature of the original, which was basically tied to all your psychic abilities and just drained really quickly.
Okay.
And now you only have basically a kind of timer on your holobob, which means this is what it's called in the game when you take over a human. So I can basically disguise myself as you and then run around, and as long as I'm
Causing
disguised as a
chaos,
puny
yes.
human, then other humans don't notice me. And that feature is back, of course, because it's a vital part of the game to just run around disguised as a rural farmer and
Nobody will ever
idiot
suspect.
humans not seeing you.
So we talked about pricing, mid-tier range, coming out to pretty much every platform for the most part. Is there anything else you'd like to cover that I might have missed by chance?
I think what you can see currently in the video is he's a much more agile character now. So what we've also been trying to do is just give people the experience of like this really high-tech alien who's just far beyond technology-wise what humans are capable of. So he has a jetpack. He can now use this jetpack to fly and to skate. So basically, you can slide around the ground with your jetpack. You can boost around, so you have like a dodge system. And all of this is fluently integrated. You can now see him skate, basically. And that basically goes fluently into each other. You can dodge and keep skating, then fly up,